Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with the second part of my tutorial series that I've been doing on Flashpoint Campaign's Southern Storm. We're going to jump right back into where we left off. Make sure that you check out the first video if you haven't, because this video will be a little bit harder to understand because I'm not going to go back all over that other information. We're going to pick up with the start of the battle. So remember, we plotted our orders in the previous episode. Okay, got all the guys laid out what they're going to do, and we see our enemy over here. Now again, our enemy forces are able to be seen because I don't have any fog of war or anything like that enabled, right? Just to make it easier for filming. And FYI, if you hear a slight hum, my apologies. The HOA yard people decided now is the perfect time to come through and blow leaves. Anyway, so when you're playing your game, I wouldn't suggest having the all the fog of war stuff lifted off because it's going to take away way too much of the information. This makes it to where I can see everything the AI is doing, up to including the orders that they're plotting. So that comes in handy when I'm filming, but not handy when I'm actually playing the game. It gives you way too much information. Looking at our screen here, got our orders. Again, we can hit Control A, and it shows us where all our guys are going to go. And what's going to happen when I hit this start button up here at the top, it's going to execute 15 minutes. And you can tell that it's 15 minutes by that little number right there at the top. So once this set of orders is done, we're going to go through 15 minutes of time, and then that's going to vary a little bit through the upcoming turns depending on what happens. Again, our goal is these 2 victory points, but our guys are not going to get all the way there on this first 15-minute turn. It's not like everything that we plotted is going to exactly happen in that first 15 minutes. But once that 15 minutes is up, we get to issue new orders. So does the AI. So we can change things around as the battle plays itself out. Now, the specific part about this tutorial is that I'm not going to be able to give you exact specific instructions of what to do, fire at the enemy at A6 or whatever hex. It's not going to work that way because your AI is going to respond differently than my AI does. And even in their example tutorial here, right, the PDF that comes with it, they explain the same premise. They give you the basic gist of what's going to happen, but they don't give you the specifics of exactly push this button to cause this thing, because you can't react specifically depending on how the game plays out. You might kill an enemy that I don't, or your guys might take damage that mine don't. So you're going to have to kind of do this next part for yourself depending on what happens. But I can show you how to kind of react to the situation as it plays out. All right, don't forget all your information over here to the right. And again, you can access it up here at the top as well. You can access this in between the turns to see the morale of your units or their ammo or all the other stuff, any intelligence that you've gathered. Intelligence is going to be key if you're not playing with the fog of war and you can't see exactly everything that the enemy's doing and exactly where they're laid out. But let's go ahead and start. All you have to do is hit the start button, and we're going to play out that little bit of a time. I'm going to be quiet and let you guys watch. I do have the sound cut down just a little bit. My game's going to be quieter just so you guys can hear me. So we hit start, and boom. Everyone's moving. They're all executing those orders. The AI is reacting at the same time that my forces are doing stuff. So it's back and forth. It's simultaneous. It's not I move a unit, you move a unit. It really is kind of this is 15 minutes. What happens in this 15 minutes? So what we can see here from playing this out a little bit is that the AI is going with the 2 flanking options, coming in from the north and coming in from the south, and they've got a recon unit that's coming in real quick to try to snake those victory points and just grab them. That way they can come in and take them later with their units. But you see units moving north and units moving south. Okay, boom. See how it says the game resolution phase is now over. We'll hit proceed. It is paused. We are at the point of the game where we could stop and issue new orders. But as you can see, we're not done yet, right? The guys aren't exactly where they're going to. Some have reached the city, but I guarantee you, because I played this off camera already a couple times, that recon is going to smoke check me and get into these victory points because I haven't been able to beat him yet. But that's all right. We'll take those back. I know the AI is going to come up here from the north. They're going to hit these highways and come on down. They've got some more that are going to come in, and they're really hard when they're in these forests because it's kind of hard to get them. But your game's going to play out different. Now, in this situation, again, you hit Control A, you can see I still have orders left. My guys haven't got to where they're going, right? They're not there yet. I don't really have to do anything if I don't want to change my orders. I still want to get my mortars back behind cover where they can lob in some shells. I still want to get my tanks up on these hills. All of that hasn't changed. I still want to get my recon and infantry elements into the city so I can push to hold it and these objectives. Now, as you can see over here, I do have more information about the AI than I normally would. Again, make sure you got Fog of War on. But if you're learning and you want to see this stuff, by all means, cut it on just so you can have a few games where you see everything, right? It'll make it easier for you. Play a couple of rounds, see how the enemy reacts, and it'll help you learn the mechanics of the game. And then when you really want to have a match in a scenario, then go ahead and cut that stuff off. All right, what I am going to try here, because I did see from messing with this previously, doing the round a couple of times, that where I originally put my tank, my second tank was not as good of a place because my first tank here is on this hill and it has good lines of sight and fire to come down onto the southern road and the southern area where the AI is coming in from that direction. But my other tank here did not. So I'm going to see if I can change this because that hill blocks him off. Can I just drag that? Yes, perfect. Look how simple that is. I love that. So now he's going to be at the edge of this hill. So he's going to have a line of sight shooting off down there so he can actually engage someone. Previously, when I had him here, that extra little jut of hill blocked off so much of his line of sight and he couldn't hit the enemy. So the rest of our guys, again, you can click on them just to see where they're going. Again, you can double click to bring up the information, or you can right click on them, right? Right click, you can bring up the unit dashboard, the SOP manager, all that stuff, or you have access to the orders that we were previously giving to our units. So we don't have to give any new orders if we don't want to, but we do have the option. Now, what I'm going to do, because everything's still fine for me, I'm still good for what the orders are for now. I'm going to go ahead and hit start and let it run out some more. You see here up at the top, though, that the next round is going to be 17 minutes instead of 15 minutes. So now it shows 17 and then the rest are 16s. To be quite honest with you, I'm not quite sure why that changes just yet, but make sure you keep an eye on that part so you know how much time is going to progress. It's just a few minute difference, but that can make a difference depending on what orders you're giving. So let's go ahead and hit start. And again, proceed. Boom. Everyone's going to start running again. Remember, you can hit your pause up here, right? It's not going to allow you to issue orders. It's not going to let you do anything like that. But if something happened and you're curious to what happened, remember at the bottom here, we can see a set of messages, right, that show us what all is going on. And I got to hit proceed before I can scroll through that. But I can still look at that to see what's going on and then kind of get an idea, right? So if you want to just stop it for a sec, you need to step away, whatever it is, you can pause it. You can't issue orders, but you can stop what's going on and then we'll let it roll out again. Just hit resume and it's going to go. And it shows you how much time is left. Originally it was 17. We got 14 minutes left to go. All right, so now we are in our next phase of the game again. And just so you know, all the way through here, after we have battle start, it goes over all this information in the tutorial, the written out one. But again, they can't give you specifics. They can kind of give you ideas, but they can't tell you exactly what to do because your AI might operate differently than mine's going to or theirs did. We can see here, and again, I've got a little foreknowledge because this scenario I have played out just a few times for my specific save game, so I know how it's going to play out. We see a lot of mobile infantry, armored cars and vehicles and such coming in here from the north. The recon element quickly swooped in and grabbed both the victory objectives, and I know that I have a large element of trucks and some tanks and infantry mechanized, mobilized coming in here from the south. The only thing is I expected them on this main highway. They didn't take the main highway. They took the smaller road, come in this direction. I wonder if they're going to do that again. But again, we can hit Control A to see if there's any orders left outstanding. For me, I just have one. This guy here just has one more hex to go to finish out. All my other guys are in Bad Durham, right? Bad Durham, whatever it's called. They're all there. I can start issuing orders to them. I have my mortar unit back here. I can start tossing in some smoke or some barrages. And what I want to do is, because I haven't showed you guys that, I want to toss in some artillery, some indirect fire, let you guys see specifically how that's going to work, and then adjust the placement of my guys just a little bit and let you see how that works. A little bit of combat, not too much because the first video really hits all the main points. Now, I know I want to get this objective. I can get that one fairly easily. It's right on the other side of the river. They have no one coming near me. Again, I shouldn't have this information, but I do. I know the recon element isn't too close. So I'm going to issue some new orders to my guys. I can simply right click on this one and I'm going to give him a move deliberate, and I'm just going to tell him to go straight there, right to that objective, and I'm going to commit him to it. Now, what do I want him to do when he gets there? I could have him screen, but I don't want him to screen. I want him to stick. I want him to keep that objective. So I'm going to tell him to hold. So he's going to go there and hold. And actually, I'm going to change that because it's got him coming in the wrong direction. I want him to go here, then here. So I'm going to commit him that way and then do a hold. That way I'm not crossing that unbridged hex. What else do we have going on here? I got a stack of 3 units right here in this hex. I don't want to keep them all together. I kind of want to screen this upper area. But I want to hold. I want to get both objectives if I can. And don't take this tutorial as a battle plan. I'm not strategic, right? I'm just teaching you how to play the game. I think I want to hold the upper part of this Bad Durham with these guys, right? Bring in the other 2 that I have here to hold the southern flank, and then use my tanks to pick off the enemy as they come over in this direction. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to issue some more orders. I got the stack here. I'm going to issue him an order to move deliberate, and I just want him to go straight up to there. I'll commit to it and I'll hold. So he's going to go straight there. It's got the color, right? Remember, you got move hasty, move deliberate, and that's going to be shown here up in the upper corner of the unit counter, telling you what type of move they're doing. The next one, I'm going to have him move deliberate, and instead of going to the upper hex, I'm going to have him go 1 down, commit, and hold. So this way I'm covering all of the upper portion. I think I might move that last guy too, though. Yeah, I'm going to move this last guy 1 more, just to kind of hold that bridge head just a little bit more. Right, so they're all moving up. Again, hit Control A, and you can see what orders you still have on the board. And if you click on the unit, you can move these plots around. Okay, still have this guy here. He's got 1 more hex to go, but I want them to get into the city. I think I need to move them a little bit farther. Maybe they should stay there to put some fire, but I think I'm going to let my tanks do that and swamp this city as much as I can. So let's go with this guy. We're going to move deliberate, and let's see, go there and then there. We'll commit and then hold. And then the same with this guy. I can move deliberate, go there, and then there, commit to it, and another holding action. So you can see now I'm moving all my guys up into the village and trying to kind of circle around it to hold it as best I can. My 2 tanks, click over here, hit Control L, boom. Look at that. That's my fields of fire. Those are the hexes I can hit. Unfortunately, I don't have the best line of sight, but I can cover this southern road and specifically this road, because they're going to try to come out here once I retake this objective. They're going to try to come through this way to come into the city. So this tank has line of sight right as they're coming out, and this tank has lots of line of sight. So he can easily pick off anything that comes there. And this one, I think I might move him forward one more. I'm wondering how much this set of trees is impacting his line of sight. I'm thinking if I move him one more hex, I might get a little bit better of a view, or I might not. But we'll try. Again, Control L, information pops off, and we can issue our orders. We'll move. Just do a move deliberate, 1 hex up, we'll commit to it, and we are going to do a hold order so they defend in that position. Give me a couple of tanks there, being able to pop some rounds out. But still got my mortar unit back here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 1 more round, and then I'm going to toss in some mortars on these guys as they try to come in from the north, because they're going to hit my line of guys and they're going to stop, which is going to allow me to put some indirect fire on them. I can either hit here or I can hit down here as these forces coming from the right are starting to push up. So again, we've got the order set. Let's hit start and see what happens in our next 17 minutes and proceed. Oh, got some fire going on and we're hitting the recon guys. Okay, boom. Now, a lot of stuff actually happened. Our tanks put in some fire onto this enemy recon unit. It took a significant amount of damage, and it actually got hit by my mortars as well. But I don't want my mortars to fire just yet. And here's something else I like about this game is I haven't had it play exactly the same twice. Usually the enemy was a little farther along by this segment. Up here in the north, and I was able to hit them with some artillery, or mortars. I keep saying artillery, mortars, but they haven't got that far up yet. So I'm going to see if I can reach out and touch them over here, slow them down a little bit. But I liked it before when I was able to drop in mortars on them right as they were trying to cross this bridge. Really messed them up. Okay, so just as an example here, since we're doing a tutorial mission, I'm not going to worry about playing it perfect. I've got the rest of my orders set out. I want to try to call in a barrage and see and let you guys see how that works. Click here. You can see for a mortar unit, artillery unit, you have different options, things like on call, barrage, under staff control, or counter battery. I want to call in a barrage, but you have multiple different options that you can call in using this. You can do just suppression, you can do neutralizing, attacking fire, or you can even do smoke. So what I could do is if I wanted to provide cover, say my guys, the recon guys there in this city took too much fire and they were trying to pull out, I could lay down a line of smoke and even determine how long I wanted it to last to give them time to get out. Say I wanted to do that, we would do smoke and we would click here to commit to it. Now I'll just click a single hex because I don't want to waste my smoke. And you'll pop up with this, okay? It's telling you where you're doing this, what type of smoke it is, visually blocking, ammunition, obviously smoke. I see that I have 10, I would be using 10 out of 40 rounds. You can adjust this, right? The number of rounds you want to use. And then start time, do you want to wait? Do you want to push it back a little bit and have these rounds come in later? Do you want them to start now? What do you want? And then how long do you want to keep that up? So if you want to lay down up to like 6 hexes, right, of cover, you can pick out those 6 hexes of smoke to provide, just a screen for your units if they're pulling out of an area. Really cool, the amount of detail that you're allowed to go into this to plot out your thoughts, your battle plans, depending on how things are going. Now, I don't want to do all this, so we're going to delete this order if I can. Let's see. Delete that. I can't delete that order yet, but I'm going to do a barrage order instead. Right? So we'll right click here, do a barrage. I want neutralizing. I want big. So I'm going to drop one here. And I think we'll drop one there as well. So what I want to do is kind of as they're moving forward, I want to hit that. Let's go big. We'll hit all down through that line. So if they try to move forward, they'll take some more damage, and we'll see how that happens. So we'll hit that. And again, I can choose the number of rounds, how long I want it to last, all that cool stuff. We're firing HE rounds. I don't have too many left. My ammo isn't doing great. You see key ammo, I'm down to 84%. So I don't want to use as many. Let's drop that down to 10. We'll start it at ASAP. So right now, and yeah, we'll leave it for 5 minutes. We're going to do the same thing on the rest of these. Oh, I almost did the wrong one. Boom, there we go for the next one. And we'll click there and pop that and apply. Oop, did I forget to apply it to the others? Yeah. No, we're good. So I've got all my changes and we're good to go. So now you see where they are calling in their artillery, or I keep saying artillery, their mortar barrage. I freaking love that. You can see lined up, pick out all the specifics, how many rounds, how long it's going to last, what type, smoke, HE, all that good stuff. Really cool. The rest of my guys still have the orders. They're either holding or they're pushing up into their positions. So let's run it out a couple more rounds. Let's see how my guys do. Mortar barrage, slowing them down a little bit. So you see less and less is starting to happen during this period of time, like overall speaking, because there's so much stuff actually going on in that little period of time. Really cool. We're going to keep letting this play out just a couple more rounds just to let you guys see it. But this is pretty well lit. This is the basics of the tutorial. So you see how to issue orders, how to call in artillery, how to move your guys around after you've already put them in the positions you want to put them in. So now you have the basics of how to do a regular scenario, right? How to play the game, how it's going to operate, where you change your orders, all that good stuff. If you guys would like to see me go into the more advanced stuff in the tutorials, definitely let me know, put it down in the comments. And if there's enough interest, I'll look into doing some videos on the advanced tutorials as well. You see there's some combat results going on as they're trying to cross the river here. They run into my recon and mechanized units right here at the top of the city. It looks like they've been forced to retreat. I believe they're going to have to pull back. And I've got another mortar barrage coming down on top of them as well. And we retook the victory point. Okay, so at the end of our tutorial here, I have retaken the upper victory point and I have a nice hold on it. A good amount of units holding the city, but I have a large amount of mechanized getting ready to come in and some tank units to my south, directly to my south. But I've got a couple of tanks ready, good lines of sight to put some fire down on them. Yeah, as soon as they come out of these woods, I definitely have lines of sight on them, and I'm going to be able to hit those guys pretty hard. But that's the basics of how to play the game. Between this video and the previous video, you have all the information you need to sit down with Flashpoint campaigns and at least get started in it, understand what you're doing, what buttons you're pushing to get all your information. Now, I haven't touched on all the higher level stuff, the more in-depth, advanced stuff. But like I said, if you guys want to see that, I'm more than happy to cover it. Just put it down in the comments and I will start looking into working on those videos as well, because it's not like spending time with this game is something that I'm not enjoying myself. It's just freaking awesome. I love the way it plays out with the battle plans. You set up your orders and then you see how everything changes, how it plays out. Did you make the right decision? Now, of course, I'm able to make good decisions here because I know exactly where the enemy's coming from. Play a real scenario, the situation would be a lot different because I wouldn't know, right? At this point, I wouldn't know about all these guys coming in here from the south. They could be coming straight in towards the city, so I would have to plan that out. I wouldn't know with the rest of the units back here at the back, how many are coming in from the north. It could be all of their forces, could be some of their forces. I don't know, right? So you have to kind of plan out your missions accordingly based on the information that you have and use things like your intelligence to make those smart decisions. Like so far here, just as an example, the enemy sit rep, this is the only information that we would have if I didn't have the fog of war stuff turned off, right? The engagements that we've had here, the recon unit that we were able to put some hurt on earlier, and obviously where our units are located. So you would have to go into these information panels, kind of see how the battle's playing out, and then plan accordingly. All right, which way is the enemy coming from? And also just don't forget, under your ops panel as well, you can find all this information again about your own units, their morale, how much ammo they have left, how much their readiness is doing. As an example, my mortar troop down here, they're not doing great. I mean, they're good. Their readiness is great. Their morale's fine. But their ammo is down by about a third. So they're not going to be able to keep up what they're doing indefinitely. But they've done a good job about putting some hurt on the enemy and slowing down their advance. I can only imagine how much deeper and cooler this gets when we start adding in things like air support and how all that's going to work. So cool. Love how this game works. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial and it has helped you out. And like I said, definitely put your comments down below. Make sure you subscribe. I definitely appreciate that as well. All right, you guys take care. I will catch you in the next one.